G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are going to review the game which was between Geelong and West Coast at Simmons Stadium. It was Geelong home by 44 points, and my chair's it's seen better days, mate, so I'll bring that to light for everyone. So, bad chair, but good game from the Cats.
Yeah, another win, another game I don't see.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I was, of course, local footy, so you can't do much about that when you're working, so I just listened to a bit on the radio, but yeah, it sounded pretty impressive. I mean, they're a quality team, maybe not as quality away from WA, which is pretty well documented these days.
Brings it up, yep.
But yeah, listening in, it seemed like all our prime movers played pretty well, and look at the stats sheet, everyone seemed to get their hands on it. Goals were flowing, and just looking at the highlights and things, it looked pretty crisp, pretty sharp. So, I mean, they threatened in that third quarter when Nick Nat really started to influence the centre bounce and they really got going. But I think against any decent side, you can't expect to dominate a game for the full 4 quarters. I mean, we probably would have liked to wrestle that on the scoreboard a little better than we did.
Yeah, for sure.
But to our credit, we sort of bounced back and really skipped away big time again. So, yeah,
can't complain too much.
For probably, what would you say, 3.5 quarters, we were dominant. So
it's good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, obviously, I won't have a great deal to say on the match because I didn't see it, but
yeah, you're all good, mate.
Contested ball was relatively level, but clearances we had a win. They're obviously the key indicators for the Cats, and we won the tackles despite smashing and disposal.
Yeah,
I think we had about 20 extra tackles from memory.
We did.
Yeah. So that's always a good sign as well.
Very nice, mate.
So I'll leave it over to you, mate, to really get in the nuts and bolts of it.
Man, it was at the game. It went too much more intense, I would have thought. But, great win against what we think is a premiership contender. It's tough to say. They are when they're at home. When they're not at home, they don't seem to be one. So, look, the flat track bullies has been identified with them. I won't go as far as to call them that, but their away record, they would really like to sort of address that and, I don't know, make a bit more of an impact away from home because that's where the grand final will be played at if they think they can make it there. But it's not a review on West Coast, it's a review on us. So I'll be back to us. The pressure was immense from our point of view. It's very good to just sort of see West Coast, even when it looked like they were going to get the clearances at times, we were able to wrestle it back and go our way. And I just loved it. We'd tackle them. There were times where in the first quarter it was a little bit, they got through the corridor a little bit too easily at times throughout the game, and that was kind of frustrating, but I think by and large we were pretty all over them. Pressure, smothers, all the good acts that you like to see, so fantastic to watch on there. Ball movement was pretty good at times, and probably in the second term when we really said we're going to win this game, we moved it clinically at times, kind of like the Gold Coast game where there was a couple of passages that were just crisp, and the old Geelong, which you'd probably see 80% of the game played like that. So, yeah, it's always very good to see that on display when everything's going right.
Absolutely.
Hitting up targets inside 50 metre, like Shane Kirsten, just bang, and you just like it when they lower the eyes and just hit a target. When it's very hard to do in modern footy.
Yeah, absolutely is.
What else have I got down here, mate? Clearances were dominant. Out-tackle them, which is quite amazing considering when you're behind, it seems that you're supposed to tackle the opposition more, but good to show that we're hungry and all over it there. We won the clearances by 12 again. The magical number I love to say each week. So if we win by 12 clearances, we're going to win. The Bombers beat us in the clearances a few weeks back, but anyway. Not very good there. Slight lapse in the third quarter. We conceded 5 in a row, which I was pretty salty about. And your old man Jeff was pretty salty about it. Just got the record, just went bang on the bang on the seat in front of him.
Classic Jeff.
Oh, it was good to watch.
I'm not surprised.
He was in good form. I think the kid, not too far from us, was a little bit terrified. But that's fine, man. We had a good laugh there, and luckily it swung back. It could have turned ugly where, 10 years on, Eagles come back from 50 points down in the third quarter again and they do it to Geelong. That was not going to happen this time, thankfully.
Thankfully, for sure.
Yeah, their tall forwards got a little bit a hold of us at times, so which is pretty different. We've been pretty good there, but to concede 12 goals against the last year's grand finals is a very good effort.
Yeah.
At home. They've got the weapons and they've got the attributes to kick a big score every week. But luckily, we made more of the play and got that all happening. A lot of soft free kicks for those goals too, mate. I don't want to get into umpires, but Jeff, I reckon, said the same to you. Did he mention that?
Maybe, I can't really remember, but he might have, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say some were soft, but anyway, I'm not here to bag the umpires. I'm just here to call how Geelong went, and very good. Very happy with it. So
yeah, season's coming along well, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at 6-1 by the look, so where I expected to be, looking at that 2 weeks ahead. So yeah, no, going well. But the votes, mate.
We've got a new system in place, mate. Obviously,
just keep
obviously, me not seeing a few games, you can't always get to it.
No.
I was thinking, well, I just won't get votes because I can't fairly assess it. But that also means that, you know, on games that we both see, there's, you know, a lot more votes up for grabs, where there's half the amount when I don't see it. So I thought it sort of disadvantages people who play well in a game I don't see. So we'll do some sort of count back for the other times I've missed it. But the ruling is I'll just go with my old man's votes, I think. So
look at that, guys. The old man chipping in, helping out.
And we normally see it relatively similar. So you guys looking at your votes there have also seen it quite similar. But
it's good.
3, 2, and 1 for Dad. He gave the 3 votes to Motlop. It was
Stephen.
We'll talk about in a sec as well, but he was great. He gave 2 to Selwood and 1 to Guthrie. So I think there was a few to choose from, I'd imagine.
It was, yeah. Probably a couple of players a bit stiff, but I think they may have just been on that echelon a bit up the tier. So yeah.
Well, how'd you see it, mate?
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the 3, 25 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 4 goals. Back to his brilliant best. He was just in amongst it when it counted, I thought. Kicked 4 goals, really handy goal scorer there for us. And yeah, when he's up and about, we can be anything really, because you just have so much drive about him. Creates play and makes something out of nothing. So yeah, we really need that if we're going to be anything this year, I feel. So he's been one to watch and very good contributor and getting back to his best. So that's good. 2 votes to Cam Guthrie, got the 24 disposals and the 2 goals. And yeah, speaking of in amongst it, this bloke in the centre, getting the job done for us and kicking a couple of goals at really crucial times, I felt.
Yeah.
And yeah, probably more so what he didn't do with the ball as well. It's tough to really document that, but
yeah,
yeah, I felt in and around the ground he was a great presence for us, and he did a great job. So Cam gets the 2. And speaking of presence, 1 vote to Joel Selwood, 35 disposals, and he got 3 tackles, 14 to start it off, 14 in the first term. So he certainly cashed in there nice and early. He was really prolific ball winner early on, and yeah, he kept going on with it. Disposal let him down at times, and there's times where he just missed handballs and missed kicks when he was going inside 50 when it could have been much more dangerous. So that's probably what put him down to 1, but you certainly couldn't dispute that being even a 3 vote game.
Yeah, he's in great form, isn't he?
He's getting back to his best, and Paddy was great as well. And Lockie Henderson, old man might have mentioned, he was really good too in the second half. Starts off slow, Lockie, but he gets into it.
Yeah.
Gets those jukes out. And
no, he's been great.
Yeah, Duncan was very good. Kirsten and Hawkins were really good.
Bartel was not bad either.
Yeah, he got 30-something as well. So he's in great form without looking like he's in great form.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? That's great. He keeps knocking up the numbers, but seems to find it so easily.
It's pretty good, mate. That's what we need. So chopping block will be tough for you, but does the old man chip in with that as well?
No, I'll just go off what I see, and as you say, in this one, it's pretty straightforward, really, because there's not too much on the chopping block. I don't think anyone was particularly poor.
No.
More so the fact that there were a couple of injuries to some young guys. Of course, Lincoln McCarthy and Cockatoo went off early. Cockatoo returned, but he clearly wasn't right to be out there. But the doctors deemed he couldn't do any further damage to it. So that's the reason he came back onto the ground. You'd suspect, given he could come back onto the ground, that given a week of rest and recovery, he'd be right to play. But the obvious one is McCarthy, who hurt that ankle.
I didn't even know what he did, actually, up until you just said right then.
Yeah, ankle. So luckily it's nothing serious.
Would that have any link to his foot, do you think?
Oh, maybe. Any link? Hashtag fun. I don't know. Chris Scott didn't seem to think so, but I'm not sure which foot, coincides with what. But he assured us that he's probably likely to miss this week, but it's nothing long term. So I
that's
think
good. Yeah.
when it comes to McCarthy, we can probably cop a week or two, but as long as it's not, season ending.
That's why I was asking if it was related to that foot, but the midfield bones and things.
We'll wait and see. But as far as the VFL sort of aspect, I mean, George Wallen-Smith just continues to bang the door down.
And he's just not in the best 22 with our side we have.
He just doesn't have a spot, which is difficult because he'd probably get a go in probably half the other sides, really. I mean,
I'd say so.
If there's a team that doesn't really have great midfield depth or wants to mix it up, but at the moment our mix in the middle, they're playing great. Our second tier guys are coming through.
They are, yep.
So it's hard to find a spot for him, but he couldn't be in better form. I mean, really.
So you'd hate to be him at the moment.
It's hard. It's a hard situation. You'd think at some point they'll give him a go, but it's hard to see him cementing a spot because unless there's a long-term injury, you just can't see him pushing anyone else out, and he's not very versatile. So
he's on that fringe of just being too good of a VFL footballer, but not good enough AFL footballer, as you often say, that category.
Yeah, exactly. And Nathan Vardy wasn't overly great in the twos, so you wouldn't expect him to come back. And just listening on, I was interested to hear that Jed Bewes was very good, but also 25 touches. 25. He's listened to the review. So not one to normally get much of the ball, and even Troy Selwood, I think it was, who did the report on K-Rock, even was surprised himself to see Jed have so much of the ball. But so it wouldn't be too many changes, I wouldn't have thought.
No, Ruggles was solid. He had a bit of a blue kick, but other than that, he's the way he goes about. And I just want to take a little bit of a moment to a bit of a, not apology of the chopping block, but here we go. Just a recognition of past chopping block candidates. Stephen Motlop and Shane Kirsten were featuring heavily early in the season, and I have no hesitation in whacking blokes on the old chopping block if they deserve it, but also give them a pat on the back and recognition when they start to turn it around. And what we've both said and what I've mentioned on the chopping block in past shows are starting to deliver now. Lots of them.
Absolutely. I mean, Kirsten in particular, but he's starting to play really well, starting to clunk some marks, and he's playing exactly how he would hope. I mean, he's not tearing the game apart, but he's doing enough. Defenders, I would assume now, we probably should look after this bloke now.
They have to be accountable.
That's got to help Hawkins over a long sample of matches.
Yeah.
And Motlop is, again, just running, backing himself, and he's got that polish now too, which he lacked probably a few weeks ago.
And he's really hitting his targets now.
He's really built into the season nicely. So great to see the response there. And hopefully they don't feature on the chopping block anytime soon.
No, mate. Congratulations, Shane and Steve. So keep up the good form.
People probably thought watching that maybe we just hate Kirsten and things like that, and he frustrates us, but we're not one-eyed enough to just, if he plays well, we acknowledge that. So
that's right.
Absolutely.
We call a spade a spade, so there you go.
But I'm pretty excited about next week as well.
Next week.
And I want you to have a serious look at that, mate, because it's a big game.
We've got Adelaide at Adelaide Oval.
Pumps him up.
Yeah, you've certainly pumped me up there, mate. Adelaide over there, very tough trip, and a nice little stat here, mate. We have not beaten them in Adelaide for 5 years. Not since 2011 when we beat them by 11 points. That's very nice, 11 points in 2011. So we certainly struggle over in South Australia, and particularly against the Crows, who got smashed in 2012. They came back from 5 goals down in 2013 in a game that I was very salty about and fell asleep watching for a little bit. I did. Shorty's not a big fan, as you can see, guys. So, they certainly know how to trouble us over there, no matter what, no matter how good of a team we are. So, I think it'll be a huge challenge for us. The Crows are irresistible over there. The crowd gets up and about at Adelaide and Sydney game. Boy, watch that if you haven't seen it, because that is just a nice sample of what to expect, where the crowd just gets up and about. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be a very close game. I think the Crows will have us relatively comfortably, if I can say the word properly. I'd have to say the Crows by 5 or 6 goals. Their form's just fantastic. I think the speed in which they transition the ball from defensive 50 to the forward 50, D50, will trouble us certainly. And Eddie Betts certainly will get a few goals out the back that way. And I think they will just be able to trouble us up there. Big forward line. We've got a great defence. They've got a great forward line. And I have a feeling we won't be as silky as they will be on their home deck. And a bad record there over the last 10 years, I'd probably have to say. Swings me towards Adelaide by about 5, 6 goals.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a bad record over there for at least 10 years for sure. I mean, obviously we had a pretty good patch through our golden era there, but even then, it's no easy wins in Adelaide.
No, we lost there in 2010 as well.
Yeah,
so we're going pretty well.
And I think, I mean, if a side's anywhere near the 8 and you play them in a state, then it's a hard game. I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
They get up and about, they know the ground well, the crowd's behind them. Travelling in a state is hard, for sure. So I think we'll certainly have our work cut out big time, and I wonder what sort of reception Paddy Dangerfield will have returning.
He'll get absolutely smashed.
Yeah, that'll be a great little spectacle to watch. And
I want them to rest him.
Rest him. Yeah, it's tough to get a read. I mean, obviously Eddie Betts is a really good indicator to how they are. We know their tall forwards what they can do, and Tex Walker, if you ask Hutchie, he reckons he's carrying an injury. But Jenkins, of course, pops up and kicks 8.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You would argue our tall forwards could probably do the job, but you could definitely argue that our small defenders will not. So Dale Morris shut down Eddie Betts last night. For the most part, I think.
Did he kick a goal?
I'm not sure. He was very quiet, I know that. So he's a big key to that. I think we can match him in the midfield. Sam Jacobs has worked into some decent form, so probably give him the edge in the ruck. But I do think we can get some ascendancy in the midfield. So, yeah, look, I won't be tipping Geelong, but I do enter the game somewhat optimistic that we can certainly be right in the game for a period of time.
Yeah.
But with the scoring machine that they possess, if we drop away for any certain period, it can definitely kick out to a margin that you just said then. But yeah, I'd probably go within 3 goals. I do think it'll be pretty close.
That's fair enough, mate.
Because I do think, after the way we've been playing, that we are pretty close to the real sort of deal. That we are a genuine top 4 contender, as are they. And I think we should see a classic match here.
I'm excited for it, mate.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good as the Sydney and Adelaide game I watched a few weeks back.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped for it.
One of the best games I've ever seen. Love it. All right. So that's the review from Shorty and myself. Quite a long review today, mate. But
I'm about to make it a little bit longer, just quickly, mate. I saw Laurie last night at town, so if you're watching Laurie, g'day, mate. Your dance moves put me to shame.
Well, cop that, mate. Very nice little shout out there for Laurie. Don't forget to check out darijoe does the Geelong Goal video highlights each week. And don't forget to share the video around, give it a like as well. It'd be fantastic. Subscribe. We do these each week. So, get on to that, guys. I'm nearly out of breath. Thanks for hanging around. We'll see you guys all next time.